My fiancé Ryan and my brother James had hated me for 10 years. They were convinced I had bullied the girl they liked, Lily. During our engagement party, they exposed my crimes to the world through a live stream watched by millions. She's a bully who tormented her classmate, they declared. In the viral video, Lily smiled through tears. I've already forgiven her. The worst is behind me now. Overnight, she became an internet sensation. I became public enemy #1. When an extremist fan threw sulfuric acid at me, I dragged Lily down with me in my final moments. Then I opened my eyes to find myself back in senior year of high school. There stood Lily, younger and dripping wet from the sink water she'd poured over her own head. Figured out how to apologize yet, princess? She taunted. Memories of acid burning through my eyeballs flashed before me. This time, I grabbed her by the hair and dragged her screaming into the bathroom stall. Cold water's too subtle for framing someone, I snarled, shoving her face into the toilet bowl. Let me teach you real bullying. She thrashed like a hooked fish, bubbles rising from the filthy water as she gargled. Lucy, let me go, glug, ugh. Scrub that dirty mouth before tattling. I laughed wildly. Whether this was rebirth or dying hallucination didn't matter anymore. I'd embraced the madness. In my previous life, I died at my proudest moment, accepting my 3rd Best Actress award while wearing couture. Standing beside my childhood sweetheart Ryan at our live-streamed engagement party. Then he announced, I refused to marry someone who bullied classmates in high school. As I stood frozen, Lily emerged from the crowd. Remember me, Lucy? She wept dramatically. Lily? The girl you tortured for 10 years? Her performance won the world's sympathy while destroying the Wilson family's reputation. Now reborn, I'd made sure our second act ended differently. You probably never imagined that one day I'd stand as your equal. But it's okay, I don't blame you anymore. Looking back, the hardest storms are already behind me. The live broadcast made Lily an overnight sensation. Before I could process it, my brother James and Ryan's prearranged reporters swarmed around me. Miss Wilson, is it true you still bully newcomers on set? Reports say you visited a gynecologist recently. Was it due to STDs from promiscuous behavior? A fan lunged through the crowd, hurling acid at my face. Die. You bitch. The searing liquid fused my skin. My vision never cleared again. Heaven to hell in seconds. Now, I release my grip. Lily lies gasping on the floor, her angelic face smeared with dirt. I laugh, cry, scream. Show that face to the world and accuse me of bullying you. Go ahead. My voice sharpens. Memories of dissolving flesh make me stomp harder on her cheekbone before walking away. Emily waits by the science building. Gym class started ages ago. What were you doing upstairs? Just bullying the new transfer student. Her head whips around. What? Sun Tzu said when everyone thinks you're a bully, you'd better become one. Sun Tzu said that? Details. We approach the track field where Ryan intercepts us. Though in different grades, the whole school knows he's my childhood sweetheart. His gaze slides past me. You're late, Lucy. Heard your class got a new student? In our past life, he'd always make me apologize whenever Lily fabricated stories. His support subtly confirmed every bullying accusation. I slap him without warning. Emily freezes. Ryan merely blinks, then nuzzles my cheek like nothing happened. Bad day, sweetheart? Only later did I learn his twisted loyalty. Abandoned at an amusement park as a child, he'd shared a foster home bed with a girl who gave him candy, his light Lily. He recognized her instantly when she transferred, swallowing every lie she spun about me. This bastard needed our engagement to secure his place in the Addams family. His hatred for me simmered beneath every honeyed word. At that thought, I spoke up. Let's break up. His pupils abruptly constricted. Why? Give me a reason. Lucy. I pulled out a tissue. deliberately wiping the spot on my cheek he'd touched. I don't want to date the son of a homewrecker. You disgust me. Is that reason enough? After we left, Emily cautiously asked if I'd been possessed. Her question didn't surprise me. Back in high school, I'd been so openly infatuated with Ryan, waiting for him after school every day, burning my hands baking cookies just to bring him a smile. My devotion had been obvious to everyone. But that version of Lucy was dead. The girl standing here now? She'd been reborn as Lucy too. 0. Lily didn't show her face all day. I knew better, she took too much pride in her looks to make a move without proper preparation. I waited patiently. Saturday arrived, my 18th birthday. My parents had promised an extravagant gala, but last-minute business kept them delayed. Under the glittering chandelier, I descended the staircase in my designer gown. There stood James in his tailored suit, his voice icy as he commanded, "Lucy, come here." I approached, ignoring Ryan's intense gaze and Lily's theatrically teary eyes. Smiling sweetly, I asked, "What is it? James? Did you get me a present?" His stare could have frozen hell. Bullying classmates. Humiliating friends. Is this how the Wilsons raised you? His voice carried across the ballroom. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Whatever do you mean? I tilted my head at Lily. Who exactly did I bully? I don't even know her. Enough lies. James retrieved a wooden ruler from the display shelf. Since our parents aren't here, I'll discipline you myself. Kneel. Whispers exploded. Bullying? From the Wilson heiress? Rich kids always think they're above everyone, at least her brother's holding her accountable. Under Lily's triumphant smirk, I stood taller. Are you hallucinating, James? The way you're acting, people might think some Victorian ghost possessed you. I only kneel at funerals. My grin turned vicious. Here's a deal, go jump off a building right now, and I'll kneel to mourn your corpse. James' face darkened like storm clouds. Lily stood behind him with phony concern. James, I know you don't like me, but how could you speak to your own brother like that? Her eyes widened with manufactured tears. Adopting a childlike innocence. Ryan nearby watched, an unreadable shadow crossing his gaze. He murmured, Lucy, if you made a mistake, just apologize. There's no need. I widened my eyes in mock confusion. Sorry. I don't speak dog. Could you repeat that in human language? Enough. James snapped. Lucy, have you no decency? Who taught you to be this foul-mouthed? He still refused to believe me, forever branding me the villain. I smirked bitterly. Mom and Dad were too busy. Guess who raised me? You did, dear brother. In my past life, I'd feared yet idolized James. As children while our parents built their empire, he'd rap my knuckles with a ruler for minor mistakes. Deny me meals. When I brought home a curly-haired stray puppy, he barred the door. Filthy mutt. I'd sat clutching that shivering creature on the porch all night. I'd thought him incapable of tenderness until Lily arrived. I watched him hand her a thermos of hot milk in his car, ruffle her hair, saw him hold an umbrella as she rescued rain-soaked kittens, listened as he humored her drunken ramblings with soft eyes. This second chance brought clarity. I didn't need their conditional love to survive. The Wilson family birthday banquet imploded when our parents returned mid-argument. Mom's polished smile halted Lily's tearful act. We'll handle family matters, Miss Peterson. After guests left, Dad's authoritative tone cut through the tension. Explain yourselves. I spoke first. A new transfer student dumped water on her own head last week. Accused me of bullying. Turns out she's James' pet charity case, Lily. James jerked upright from the couch. Shock etched across his features. Surprised. James? You two thought you could keep your little secret hidden from me this whole time? I pressed my reddened eyes. voice trembling. I don't blame her. Really. It's just a birthday, I can skip mine. What hurts is that you never trusted me, my choked sob hung in the air. It's not like Lily's the only one who knows how to play the victim. Dad slammed his fist on the table, cutting through my tearful performance. Enough. Whatever happened between you girls ends now. Air this dirty laundry publicly, and neither of you will come out looking good. Back at school, I made bullying Lily my new extracurricular. Ink poured into her desk drawer, mocking laughter drowning out her accented English recitations. Physics tests shredded and sprinkled over her head like confetti. Go ahead, I taunted. Run to the teachers again. Isn't that your specialty? A paper scrap drifted from her hair as she stared up at me, venom flashing in her eyes before dissolving into trembling tears. I'm sorry, Lucy. If I've upset you somehow, I'll fix it. Just tell me how. Your existence upsets me. I tilted my head, feigning curiosity. How will you fix that? Jump off the roof? Her mouth opened soundlessly before collapsing into fresh sobs. Being the villain, I discovered, was exhilarating. When teachers summoned me, I arrived armed with hospital paperwork and practice tears. After James publicly humiliated me at that party because of her lies, my fingers shook holding the depression diagnosis. Nightmares. Panic attacks. Therapy 3 times a week. The counselor ended up comforting me instead. Even Emily frowned over lunch. Why her? What did she actually do? I grinned around my straw. Can't a rich bitch like me enjoy tormenting scholarship students? Bullshit. She rolled her eyes. You bought me 4 years' worth of art supplies the day we met. If you're a bully, I'm the damn Queen of England. Smart girl. Everyone saw through the charade, except James and Ryan. My smile didn't reach my eyes. As the school's centennial gala approached, memories flickered. Last life. Lily's piano solo during that very event had won her a golden ticket, early admission from visiting Ivy League scouts. My own decade of dance training? Erased when Ryan pulled me into that sunset embrace. His whisper warm against my neck, can you not perform? Lucy. I don't want so many people seeing how beautiful you are. I'll get jealous. Just dance for me alone. Okay? Back then I was such an idiot. Smugly thinking this proved how much he cared. So on the day of the performance, I didn't go. Instead, I danced for him over and over in the empty studio. When the music ended, thunderous cheers erupted from the distant auditorium. Ryan suddenly laughed, the first time I'd seen such raw emotion from him. He'd always been gentle and quiet around me. His smiles faint like mist. I stopped mid-pirouette, asking dumbly, "Are you happy?" He paused. Yes. I thought his joy was because I danced solely for him. Only years later did I learn the truth. Ryan was elated because Lily's performance had triumphed. The only light in his bleak existence was shining bright. This time, I submitted a group classical dance instead of a solo. I recruited every interested girl in class, hiring top instructors and buying lavish costumes. Compared to Lily's simple white dress piano recital, my production looked like Broadway meets the Bolshoi. Whatever sob story she fed James worked. That night, he cornered me in the garden. Lucy, my brother said coldly, withdraw from the festival. I smirked. James, what the hell are you barking about? This isn't a request. His eyes glinted dangerously. Perform, and face the consequences. I stepped closer, matching his glare. After over a decade of piano lessons, your precious innocent girl still can't beat me in open competition? What a pathetic loser. 3 days before the show, Ryan found me. Lucy, about last time I messed up. But you blocked my numbers. Avoided me. His voice cracked. Did I misunderstand? Or, have you fallen for someone else? You promised I'd always be your favorite. Rage and hurt clawed up my throat. I genuinely loved him for years, turned down Oscar-winning directors because he disliked kissing scenes. Tolerated Lily's constant slights because he said she'd suffered enough. All that sincerity earned me a decade of their contempt. Grabbing his collar, I slammed him against an oak. His pained gasp barely registered before my palm cracked across his face. "You don't get to play victim," I hissed, the sting in my hand mirroring the ache they'd carved into my bones. His pale face immediately flushed red. I leaned in close and enunciated every word. "I know you and Lily have known each other for years. If you're so obsessed with her, why put on this lovesick act for me? Trying to string me along while simping for your precious sweetheart? You're just like your home-wrecking mother, pathetic." As the last syllable left my lips, storm clouds gathered in his eyes. He stood speechless. I snorted and walked away. That night, I dreamed of my previous life's aftermath. After stabbing Lily with that cake knife, I died in agony while she got rushed to the hospital. Outside ICU, Ryan grabbed James' collar. "You promised to protect her." James shook him off coldly. "I'm letting you share her. Bastard. Without my help, you'd never control the Wilson empire. Don't push it." Ryan staggered. "You think this is your doing?" "It was actually," he choked mid-sentence. James smirked. "My sister helped you." "Dead sister. Remember? The acid attacker you hired?" Ryan stared at the flashing ER lights. "When they wheeled Lily out, the doctor said she remained critical." His gaze flickered over her bloodless face before hardening. "I remember. No regrets." I woke up retching, clawing at the bathroom sink until my reflection stared back, eyes bloodshot with hatred. "No regrets?" I whispered. "You'll beg for mercy this lifetime." During the anniversary gala, I found Lily by the campus lake wearing James' consolation prize, a silver designer dress dripping with diamonds. "Think the Wilson name protects you?" she sneered. "After all my bullying, you still won't fight back?" "Ryan loves me. James too. You'll die unloved." I smiled. "How was the toilet water?" Her face twisted as I left. At sunset, my dance team rushed toward backstage in performance gowns. Halfway there, I realized my curtain call props were missing. Did I leave my phone in the dance studio? I tried to recall and decided to go check. Emily asked, "Want me to come with?" "No need. It's not heavy." I smiled, adjusting the glittering gold hemline of my dress as I headed toward the empty humanities building. "You guys go backstage for makeup and coordinate with the stage crew about prop order." My footsteps echoed through the deserted stairwell. Golden red sunset light streamed through the windows, illuminating the figure standing halfway up the flight leading to the dance studio. Ryan stood motionless, shadows swallowing most of his face except the sliver touched by dying sunlight. His eyes looked like whirlpools in the ocean depths. "Lucy," he said hoarsely, voice trembling like storm clouds about to burst. "What are you doing here?" "None of your business." I pushed past him. His hand clamped down on my shoulder with bruising force. For one disorienting second, I felt weightless, then my back hit the concrete steps as I tumbled down the staircase. White-hot pain exploded through my body when I crashed against the metal railing. My ankle gave an audible crack. Ryan descended methodically, those sorrowful yet detached eyes never leaving me. "Don't hate me," he said tonelessly. "You've had everything handed to you since birth. Even if you lose this opportunity, there'll be other chances. But Lily, she's fought tooth and nail for everything she has." The memory from my nightmare flashed, Ryan standing outside some imaginary hospital room with James, gazing tenderly at Lily being wheeled out of surgery. His voice when mentioning me had been arctic cold. "I don't regret a thing. All my youth, my devotion, wasted on this trash." A hysterical laugh bubbled up as Ryan grabbed my injured ankle. Right before he could slam my leg into the railing, I twisted free. Pathetic. Pain shot through my swollen ankle as I lunged upward, yanking his hair with all my strength. His skull cracked against the metal bar with a sickening thud. Blood bloomed across his forehead like grotesque war paint, dripping onto his collar. "Lucy," he rasped through crimson streaks. Gasping for air, I released him and stood on trembling legs. My ankle screamed in protest. But I didn't care. Let it hurt. Let it all burn. I looked down into his pain-glazed eyes and slowly, deliberately smiled. "How touching, Ryan. So devoted that you'd sacrifice yourself to ruin me here. All to secure a future for your precious little angel? This must be James' warning to me." "Huh? Did you two already agree to share her?" "Disgusting." I hiked up my skirt and dragged it across his bloodied face until the pale fabric became mottled crimson, leaving him crumpled on the ground. I ran toward the auditorium as twilight deepened. The distant strains of Clair de Lune floated through the evening air. Of course, Lily was playing the same piece as in our previous life, Debussy's Moonlight, haunting the auditorium. There she sat at the gleaming white piano, a silver cocktail dress shimmering under the solitary spotlight. The stage lay in darkness except for that single beam illuminating her like the last spark in extinguished heavens. Identical to how she'd appeared at my engagement party in our past life. Breathtakingly radiant while climbing over my shattered reputation. I charged down the narrow aisle, barged past scrambling security guards and a panicked MC, and vaulted onto the stage. Standing in that same sacred circle of light, I kicked Lily's bench out from under her and slammed my fist against the piano strings. "Play this, you bitch!" I screamed at her stunned face. "Send your little lapdog to destroy me? You think you'll just sit here playing your damn piano?" I knew full well the special admissions officer James had invited sat somewhere in that audience. Last lifetime. After this very performance, he'd approached Lily post-show with that coveted early admission offer. Her golden ticket. The first step in her glorious ascent. Later, through James' meticulous scheming, she became the protégée of some classical music luminary. When I'd needed piano training for a film role, a method actress preparing to play an autistic prodigy, my agent arranged lessons with that same maestro. Merely crossing paths with Lily at that lesson had been enough. That night, James ambushed me at my apartment. "Lucy, when will you stop?" He'd sneered. "Just because you'll never measure up to Lily, you destroy her handwritten scores? You're truly rotten to the core." I'd stood there dumbstruck before stammering out denials. He cut me off with a brutal swipe of his hand. "Lies. I won't waste another breath listening to your excuses. Now." As shocked gasps erupted through the auditorium, someone screamed, "Blood! Look at all the blood on her dress." My blood-stained skirt, disheveled hair, and swollen ankle became exhibit A through Z of my accusations. Lily clutched the overturned piano bench, hauling herself upright. For one breathtaking moment, naked hatred contorted her features before melting back into delicate bewilderment. "Miss Wilson, there must be some misunderstanding," she quavered. However inappropriate this interruption, could we discuss it after my performance? Out of respect for our audience, James erupted from his front row seat. "Lucy, have you lost your mind?" I shoved Lily aside and settled at the piano. My fingers found the opening chords of Beethoven's Symphony of Fate. In that previous life, I'd practiced this piece relentlessly to perform authentically for the film cameras. Refusing a hand double, I spent 3 solid months mastering this piece. While not perfect, it was more than enough for the occasion. The passionate piano notes mingled with faint electrical hums, reverberating across the empty dome of the auditorium. As the final chords of Destiny faded, I turned to face Lily, my voice cutting through the silence, ruining my birthday party, turning my brother against me, spreading lies to my family and friends. Those were trivial. I'll repay them in kind. But ordering Ryan to push me down the stairs? Trying to break my legs to keep me off the stage? I paused, watching her face drain of color. Is piano, your proudest achievement, so fragile that you can't even face competition? Chaos erupted on and off stage. The school festival coordinator eventually escorted Lily and me backstage while the hosts scrambled to salvage the program. Our group classical dance performance was next. I passed the dancers in the backstage corridor. Emily rushed toward me with tear-filled eyes, grabbing my hands. "You were hurt, weren't you? I should have gone with you." "It's nothing." I smiled, ruffling her hair. "Go give them the performance you've rehearsed for. Make it count." The $10,000 prize for best performance had never been my goal. As I watched them take the stage, relief washed over me right before overwhelming pain dragged me into darkness. I woke in a hospital room. James burst through the door that night, snarling, "You lunatic! Lucy, you're completely unhinged." He'd wanted to carefully nurture his precious flower into full bloom, savoring that creator's satisfaction. "But brother," I tilted my head, "why would I let you play gardener?" The heart monitor beeped erratically as I grinned. "Your little saint didn't even finish her piece. The leg-breaking scheme's gone public. She'll never get into that fancy conservatory now." Suddenly remembering, I added, "Oh, and your accomplice Ryan's still lying unconscious in the academic building. You might want to call an ambulance." Laughter shook the bed rails, fire lancing through my bandaged ankle. In James' horrified reflection, I saw the monster I'd become maybe since the day I died in my past life. James' jaw twitched, rage flashing behind his icy mask. "What did you gain? Lily's performance failed. But you didn't dance either. The cameras caught every second of your meltdown. No forged medical certificate will save you this time. The school's expelling you." "Expulsion?" I wheezed through laughter. "Since when do I care? We're both Wilsons." "James, like Ryan said, block one path. I'll take 10 others." My fingers whitened on the sheets. I only wanted to drag Lily down from her pedestal. Every lie she told about me in our previous life, I made them real. Every opportunity she stole, I'm burning them all. The monitor screamed alongside my voice. "This isn't over, Lily. Not after I humiliated you at the festival. Not after beating you and Ryan. The videos of me bullying you? They're already trending online." The scandal sparked a massive uproar online. The feud between a wealthy heiress and a girl from humble beginnings always makes headlines, whether 10 years ago or today. But this time, my clear-headed speech on stage, disheveled appearance, and that raw outburst of fury shifted public opinion in my favor. Maybe it's not just rich girls bullying the poor? Her piano performance didn't sound like someone cruel. LOL. Is this comment section full of bots? Since when do we psychoanalyze people through music? Regardless. Look at her swollen ankle and blood-stained clothes. What bully would maim themselves like this? Can we appreciate her chaotic energy though? Lucy's mental state was 8 software updates ahead of ours. Emily and the other dance team girls soon jumped into the online fray. "Lucy isn't what you think. Lily started it." The internet exploded with debates. During my hospital stay, I never learned how James explained things to Dad. When discharged, he greeted me with glacial indifference. "A few months unsupervised and you turn feral. Since your school expelled you, study abroad. Hide overseas until this blows over." I'd expected this. Between James and me, Dad always favored his golden boy. Even when James sabotaged my engagement party in my past life, with Dad still alive then, he'd chosen willful ignorance. Right up until my death. Fine. I smiled faintly. "You wanted performing arts. I'll arrange." "No." I cut him off. "Finance. Business school." Both men blinked. Dad's gaze sharpened with new appraisal. My transfer processed swiftly. Ryan remained hospitalized with worse injuries. I heard Lily visited him, cooing, "This isn't your fault, Lucy's just heartless." Emily arrived at my house clutching pricey Lily of the Valley blooms. "Those two psychos tried to break your leg. Since when is self-defense heartless?" She thrust the flowers at me. We pulled our competition prize money. Everyone wanted you to have this before. She inhaled shakily, avoiding the bouquet as she hugged me. Lucy, ever since Lily transferred, you've known things? Like that fire. Anyway, come back soon. We'll still be friends. On my last evening, Mom sat with me on the breezy balcony, hesitation lining her face. I squeezed her hand. Don't worry. In my first life, Mom died in a car crash. While she lived, Dad's favoritism toward James had limits. Now, watching moonlight glint off her wedding band, I made a silent vow. This time, I'd protect what mattered. At this thought, a chill ran through me. In my past life, James' obsession with Lily had driven him to madness. Could my mother's sudden car accident have been more than it seemed? My grip tightened unconsciously on her hand. You have to be careful, I insisted. And watch out for James. You've changed, Lucy, Mom murmured, studying me with troubled eyes. I failed you. You used to trust everyone so easily. When I warned you about Ryan, you'd argue Ryan's not like that at all. Remember when I tried securing shares from your father for your birthday? You sabotaged me by chirping about being happy with jewelry and dresses. Her sigh carried decades of regret. I wanted you to be sharper, wiser, but not like this. Not if this clarity came from suffering. No mother wants that price paid. I pressed against my stinging eyelids. This world devours the naive. Mom. It took dying to learn that truth. The year I boarded that plane with my suitcase. I was 18. Every sight, sound, and smell felt foreign yet exhilarating. Fear never touched me, not when I carried memories of future events. Though details blurred, critical turning points shone clear, none brighter than the 2-year mark ahead. In my previous life, James had flown to San Francisco at 20, striking a deal with Dan. That man's cutting-edge tech would become James' weapon to seize full control of Wilson Enterprises within 5 years. Mom's seed money multiplied in my hands through stock market plays guided by fragmented memories. Between accelerated degree programs, I invested in embryonic companies destined for Fortune 500 glory. Startups that currently operated from garages and coffee shops. Emily's weekly calls became my tether to the past. The dance team misses you, she'd begin, before updating me on scholarship-funded stability. Her laughter rang brightest recounting Lily's failed admissions interview. The panelist had been at our gala. Said Lily's Moonlight Sonata sounded muddy compared to your Destiny Symphony. You should have seen her sob into Ryan's shirt afterward. When national exam rankings placed me 3rd nationwide, I grinned through finals-induced exhaustion. Congratulations. I texted, knowing Emily awaited more. Come back soon, Lucy. Let's be friends again. Mom's calls carried different worries, updates on James' maneuvers, anxious queries about my well-being, exasperated sighs when hearing of my ventures. You're still my little girl, she'd chide. Let me help shoulder this. So I fed her Dan's name and clues, making her swear secrecy from James. Through it all, the Wilson family clock ticked louder. Each traded stock, each boardroom whisper, each encrypted email brought me closer to dismantling what James would build. The game had begun, and this time, the naive girl stayed buried in that blood-stained banquet hall. I arrived in San Francisco a month earlier than James. Standing outside the university campus, I was about to ask for directions when I spotted a familiar face on the distant lawn. Dan, looking several years younger. Before him stood a tall, slender woman with short hair and glasses. Her expression frosty. That's my research. Who gave you permission to discuss commercial partnerships without my authorization? Dan forced a smile. What's yours or mine? We collaborated on this together. The concept was mine. I conducted the experiments. You merely assisted with data recording for a period. Since when does that grant you rights to my work? Grace remained unyielding. His demeanor darkened. Grace. You're crossing the line. We're graduating soon, can't you see I'm securing our future? What good is clinging to research papers? Partnering with established corporations maximizes. I'll repeat this slowly. Grace's voice turned arctic. That is my work. She stared impassively at him. The patents under my name. You don't even understand the core technology. Commercial development? Over my dead body. Consider us done. From this moment, we're strangers. As she strode away, Dan's gaze followed her retreating figure, his eyes gradually frosting over with something dangerously close to murderous intent. The memory surfaced abruptly, Lily once asking James by their infinity pool in another lifetime, "How did you secure someone like Dan?" James had smiled indulgently. He needed assistance. Yet in that previous existence, Grace's name had never surfaced. I arranged to meet Grace at a cafe far from campus. She cut through formalities immediately. "Ms. Wilson, I know why you're here. My work isn't for sale." "Why?" Her hesitation lasted mere seconds. "It's incomplete." My coffee cup froze midair. Business type $. I see potential, what this could become. How it might revolutionize technology. The discovery itself matters most. When she spoke of her vision, the ordinary college student vanished. Radiant conviction transformed her features. Here stood someone destined for scientific greatness. Yet in another timeline, two men's ambitions had reduced her to an unmarked grave in foreign soil, erased from history's narrative. Unless there's more to discuss. Grace began gathering her things. I blocked her path. "What if I fund your research? Full resources. No strings. You'd only need minor assistance after completion. The breakthrough remains yours, your name in textbooks." "Do we have terms?" The season's first snow was falling in thick flurries when my plane touched down. Rolling luggage through the terminal. I paused before an illuminated billboard. Lily's impeccably made-up face smiled down at travelers. While I'd built my empire abroad to counter James' growing influence at Wilson Enterprises. He'd been busy too. After failed academic shortcuts, he'd maneuvered Lily into film school, launching her entertainment career in earnest. She really never changes. I sneered and got into the car. Cutting through traffic dusted with light snow. We pulled up at the corporate building. The bidding event 3 days later marked another critical juncture. Emily and I holed up in the office perfecting the proposal until it shone. When we effortlessly secured the contract at the public bidding, I rose from my seat and met James' stunned gaze across the room. "You, Lucy!" The corner of my mouth twitched. "Long time no see, brother." He chased me down the hallway afterward, blocking my path with lingering disbelief. "Wilson Enterprises is yours? After Grace disappeared, you hid her. Didn't you?" Getting desperate. "James?" I laughed sharply. "Hid her? You two were strangers. Why this obsession with tracking down a living person? Planning something illegal?" Leaving him seething, I strode away laughing. My high-profile return included aggressively networking after securing the contract. Holding exclusive rights to Grace's patents and snatching projects from Wilson Industries earned me exaggerated courtesy from business elites, respect my 3 acting awards never commanded in my past life. People only kneel to those controlling capital. I mused, swirling my Merlot. Emily studied me intently. "You left for 4 years but came back aged a decade. 18-year-olds can afford madness." I shrugged. Postgrads must bear fangs through polished smiles. Raising my auction paddle, I called. 2 million. Front row attendee Lily whirled around, Ryan following her gaze. Our eyes locked. His faltering at the sight of my smile. The faint scar on his temple caught the light. 2.6 million. He countered hastily when the diamond bracelet lot resumed. I knew this trinket was meant for Lily's upcoming birthday. Despite clawing some influence in his family conglomerate, Ryan remained eclipsed by James' dominance at Wilson Industries. Desperate to impress, he paid $6 million for the bauble. How touching, I remarked. Ryan clutched the jewelry case, hesitating before murmuring, "Lucy, don't." I recoiled dramatically, raking him with contempt. At least you outdid your home-wrecking mother. Do you and James share mistress visitation schedules? Odd days for each? Sundays together? My voice carried clearly across the murmuring crowd. As soon as the charity auction ended, business associates started bombarding me with questions. I feigned embarrassment. Well, my brother James and that illegitimate son of the Addams family, Ryan, both fell for the same up-and-coming actress. Every family's got their hopeless romantic, right? When it's true love, you make allowances. The gossip mill didn't stop at their love triangle. I strategically invested in the entertainment industry, poaching several pivotal roles from Lily that had launched her career in previous timelines. James couldn't stand seeing his delicate flower suffer these setbacks and finally made his move against me. Perfect, I'd been waiting for this exact moment. No strike means no vulnerabilities to exploit. Overnight, my name trended alongside my company, #Lucy bullying allegations, #Lucy defamation campaign, #Lily victim. That edited clip from our high school talent show resurfaced, the one where I smashed Lily's piano, carefully cropped to exclude my subsequent Chopin performance. They'd even tracked down our senior year classmates. Lucy always targeted Lily, claimed one former classmate in a viral interview, ripping her homework, pouring ink in her desk, turning the whole class against her. Lily couldn't fight back against the Wilson heiress. When it blew up, Lucy just transferred abroad while Lily suffered. Our stock plummeted for 3 straight days. Partners called demanding explanations. Patience. I twirled my Mont Blanc pen during video conferences. We're all business people here. You know better than to act without guaranteed returns. Lily's composure cracked faster than I anticipated. Seizing the PR crisis, she appeared on a live stream recounting childhood struggles. Growing up in rural schools with overworked teachers, my English pronunciation embarrassed me during that talent show. Her voice trembled with artfully timed tears. The chat exploded. "Sweetie, you're amazing. She's the shameful one. How dare privileged brats mock hardworking people. Wait, village schools with no English teachers, but she plays piano for years? Sketchy much?" I chuckled at that last comment before it disappeared in the 500,000 viewer frenzy. The next morning, my father summoned me to the Wilson estate. "Merge your company with Wilson Enterprises immediately," he barked. "For years abroad and you still embarrass us. Public apology now, or you're no daughter of mine." I smiled coolly. "Biologically speaking, you never were. Mom carried that burden alone." Within days, Wilson family and Addams Group announced their alliance, poaching our major contracts. My father's televised dissonant statement trended globally. "I have no connection to this malicious creature." I was nearly splashed with acid by Lily's deranged fan in the company parking lot. He'd even conspired with my father to use my teenage mental breakdown and that old diagnosis certificate to have me institutionalized. Reincarnation couldn't cleanse their dirty tactics. Time to fight back. James. Just as I seemed cornered, Lily won her first Best Actress award coinciding with her birthday. James threw her an extravagant celebration with live streaming. Dressed in white lace, Lily sweetly thanked fans before the blessing video segment began. The screen flickered to grainy surveillance footage from a dressing room. Another actress was fixing her makeup when Lily suddenly grabbed the woman's hand to slap her own face. "How dare you steal roles from me?" Lily sneered. "Know who my boyfriend is? James, CEO of Wilson Enterprises. When he sees this bruise, you'll beg for mercy. Or should I say, start job hunting after your career dies from this bullying video?" The final clip showed Lily smirking at the actress's cleavage. "No. Lily lunged at the screen as chaos erupted. Hashtag Lily's boyfriend is James and hashtag Lily birthday disaster trended instantly. Emily beside me furiously typed, "Lily, does the whole world bully you or are you just playing victim?" Her comment rocketed to the top. "Did you see how hard she yanked that girl's hand? Her cheeks swollen. Fake tears and real slaps, call her Lily Green Tea instead. Wasn't the original lead that actress who got cancelled after leaked nudes? Steele rolls with lies and slut-shaming? Classic Lily." Another viral video surfaced showing international students mocking a Chinese girl's accent. A blonde guy imitated her pronunciation, "That's not English." Joker. The camera shook as someone grabbed his collar, me punching him while snarling. Laugh at funerals too. Clown? When he challenged me, I knocked him down again, pressing my shoe to his throat. "That's Chinese kung fu." Mutt. The uploader wrote, "I nearly got burned as a baby girl in rural China. Unlike Lily's fairy tale village with pianos and rich sponsors, I fought 30 years to study abroad, only to face ridicule. I won't let decent people be slandered." Comments flooded in "Queen behavior. Expose the fraud." Lily's crying in a gilded cage while real fighters walk through fire. James better check his girlfriend's acting real Oscar-worthy fakery. Am I seeing this right? Is this Lucy? The same girl James accused of bullying her and mocking her English pronunciation? Finally someone said it. What village kid gets piano lessons for over a decade? The timeline doesn't even add up yet, so many bought that crap. Holy shit. Girls on fire. Sponsor? Wasn't Lily's sponsor James? Lucy's brother? Who's to say he wasn't framing his own sister to secure the inheritance? Then came the video from my 18th birthday. Footage of Lily throwing herself off the roof all those years ago to fake being pushed by another orphanage girl. Just to secure funding. Evidence of James hiring hitmen, not just Grace's attempted murder. To build the Wilson empire. He and my father schemed countless dirty deals behind closed doors. I owe most of these discoveries to my mom. Last piece, Ryan. He'd been psychologically manipulating his biological mother for 7 years until she killed herself in front of his father. Traded his mom's life for a ticket into the Addams family. I dumped truckloads of cash connecting these dots from past lives and present clues. Feeding each bombshell to trending topics. Thanks to their earlier drama mongering, the whole world was already watching this feud. Once criminal charges got involved, all hell broke loose. Netizens flooded police hotlines before they could even spin the narrative. Those who play with fire get burned. How's that for poetic justice? The day cops hauled away my dad and James, my mom slapped divorce papers on the table. James looked like a kicked puppy. Screaming, "Mom, aren't I your son too? Why always favor Lucy?" My mother sipped her Earl Grey, sitting primly across from him. "Your father favored you. I favor your sister. The universe balances itself. Doesn't it? Those joint Wilson-Addams projects they stole from me? All imploded spectacularly. Added financial fraud to their rap sheets. I took over the battered Wilson Group, merging it with Orchid Holdings. Then I met with Emma, Ryan's half-sister from his father's arranged marriage. I used to hate your mother. She stirred her cappuccino. Then I realized, if my dad hadn't cheated, Ryan wouldn't exist. Dying by her own son's hand? Poetic justice. We'd cut our deal a year prior. I'd help her purge Ryan from Addams Corp for full control. In exchange, she'd back my plays domestically. Half those viral hashtags? Emma's handiwork. Though I'm curious. She leaned in. How did you connect Ryan to his mother's suicide? I just smiled. Because in another life, he'd done the same to me. Before sentencing, I visited some old friends. First stop, James. He glared through the plexiglass. Don't look at me like that. I smirked. I know what you're wondering. Being cast out like trash? Been there. Done that. You thought I was just partying abroad these years? There were months I survived on power naps between lectures. Board meetings. and chasing leads through past life memories. Their cruelty was too practiced. Too polished. Monsters don't start with you. I just followed the blood trail they'd left everywhere. I was right. James. Dad always said I wasn't like his daughter. He raised you to be a tyrannical outlaw who'd break any law to get your way. Good thing I didn't take after him. The second person I visited was Lily. Disheveled and hollow-eyed. She glared at me through the glass with venomous hatred. Her fragile facade shattered. She screamed hysterically, demanding why I hadn't revealed the evidence earlier. Was playing the victim fun for you? Absolutely. I smiled, rising from my chair. Where's the thrill if you hadn't believed you'd already won? I could have exposed everything sooner. But where's the satisfaction in that? Let her bask in imagined victory. Let her clutch her hollow triumph, only to watch it crumble to ashes at dawn. I'd lived through that midnight myself. In another lifetime. Now it was her turn. The last person I saw was Ryan. Truthfully, I hadn't planned to visit him. Lily had always been my nemesis. James remained bound to me by blood. But Ryan? Once my love for him evaporated, he became irrelevant. Yet the police said he'd requested to see me. We sat facing each other through the thick glass. He studied me in prolonged silence until I stood impatiently. What do you want? This wasn't how it was supposed to be. He finally rasped. The Wilson family should have been mine. We should have been engaged by now. I froze mid-step, whirling around. His dark eyes glinted with unreadable intensity. For one disorienting moment, if not for the faint scar on his forehead, I could have sworn I was staring at the Ryan from my past life. Laughter bubbled up. Harsh and incredulous. Engaged? Why stop there? Why not mention how you used me to seize the Wilsons' empire before conspiring with James to kill me? I regretted it. He choked out. 4 years. But you never knew. Of course I didn't, I was dead. I slammed my palm against the glass, leaning close. And even if I'd known, who cares about your remorse? This time, I'm the victor. You're the one burning in hell. This is your reckoning, Ryan. Winter arrived early that year. Lily was drenching her hair under a faucet when Grace called. She'd be leaving for an overseas research institute after New Year's. I wished her safe travels before hanging up. Emily's text blinked next, already seated at the hot pot place, demanding I hurry over to pay the bill. Laughing, I typed my agreement. Outside the car window, a crescent moon hung high in the sky, its silver light piercing the ink-black night. Soon, this darkness too would pass. My sun will rise again.